Hey Victor, how are you doing?
Hey Dato, I'm doing great. Thank you. What about you?
More or less. Just waiting several more minutes for the guys to join up, and yeah, we can start.
Yeah, thank you for waiting for me.
Well, I guess we can start. Thank you everyone for joining us here today. Um, as like the community poll took care of decision, today we're going to talk about the place of Humanoid in crypto and discussing various approaches Humanoid can take in crypto.
Well, Dato, how about now me becoming the host this time? And
Oh, all right.
actually,
Go ahead.
we understand that there are many things Humanoid can do, but let's start with the first one, and that's Humanoid as the new infrastructure and the new security level. What can you say about this?
I mean, Humanoid was always about a new type of cyber defense, and it was always about the cyber defense, right? And and every respectable blockchain project consists of three important layers, right? So it's a consensus layer, it's a blockchain layer, and the way it kind of prevents cyber attacks in the system layer, basically. And Humanode was designed specifically to cover the third one, the layer that defends the systems from cyber attacks, basically.
Okay. Well, I wanted to add here that there's always a cost to attacking a decentralized network, and today it's easily to derive those costs from the capitalization of the network, take into account how the price might increase if you start buying out the tokens on the open market. If you're going to attack the network in any other way, like by creating a new, for example, futures market, which you can manipulate, dump the price, and then buy out the tokens. So, uh, do you think Humanoid can bring any kind of security in terms of the security from the attack like this, when you are able to double spend, or when you are able to change what transactions were in the ledger before?
Well, it really depends on the way the vector of attack here. If we're talking about like a hostile takeover,
Oh, sorry for that, ladies and gentlemen. Data will be right back here in a few seconds.
yeah, sorry for that, I'm back. So there's really difference when you're talking about like finding some vulnerabilities in the code and trying to double spend or conduct any other transactional accounts. But if we're talking about um, basically safeguarding the consensus layer from attacks, this is why Humanoid was specifically built, to mitigate, first of all, hostile instant mining takeovers when, big miners just come in and they hash out your network, becoming the bigger power in it and basically just doing anything they want. Or we're talking about a broken paper machine that just takes over the staking in your network and just does everything it wants. So basically, um, one human, one node prevents that kind of, artificial attacks on the network. And what we're trying to achieve here is basically one human, one node. that safeguards the network from all types of the attacks that are available in like capital based networks out there, presumably.
All right, thank you for that. I think it was pretty clear.
But what I want to ask you, Victor, what do you think is Humanoid applicable to any other networks out there?
Oh, well, for sure. I mean, there are use cases that are popping up every week in our heads and the heads of our community. Thank you, Johnny. And we kind of understand that we don't want to be in other networks that wants to just port the applications that are already existing on Ethereum or any other layer ones and layer twos, and just use us because our network is faster and our network is more secure, or we have another level of security. No, we are building the first crypto biometric network here. And as you know, in crypto, we're not using biometrics like at all, despite the fact that we're using it heavily every day in our daily lives with our smartphones and centralized services. So basically, we are going to become a network that is serving any biometric use case out there for any other network. Uh, how it can be done? Well, imagine that you have an EVM compatible network. I think there are already like 10 of them operating right now, besides Ethereum. And as we are EVM compatible as well, what we're going to do is that we're going to connect to them through bridges and deploy just one biometric smart contract written in Solidity on the, so to say, target network that we want to serve with our biometric tech. And well, if the decentralized applications and protocols want to use biometric features, they will connect their smart contracts to our smart contract biometric one deployed on their network, which will then establish connection with human nodes who keep the biometric data privately and process the biometric data through our algorithms, and then give back the proofs of either liveness of that account they wanted to check, or the uniqueness of the person behind the account on any other EVM network, as we all have the same addresses across all of those. And well, as I just described the simple architecture of how we're going to do that, I wonder, Dato, if you have anything to add to that. I mean, how Humanode connects to other layer ones or twos out there.
Actually, when I was asking you that question, I was more specifically to not talking about like various use cases and proofs of biometric liveness detection that we can provide to various networks. But I was like more specifically talking about the way Humano can provide additional civil defense to other networks. Like, how do you envision hybrids between proof of stake and like proof of human existence that we provide? Is it any better? Does it change anything in your perspective?
Okay, there are just so many ways we what we imply under cyber defense. So if we're talking about the persistence of the same data in the ledger, or cyber defense from the double spend attacks or others, well, yeah. The thing is that if you have a proof of stake network. Well, you can even do that in proof of work network if you will. What you can do, you can have every validator go through the biometric enrollment and authentication. And that way you will ensure that the same company or the same person behind many, many nodes that he set up in the network won't, capture the network silently, just giving different names and setting up nodes with different amounts of money. But you will understand that all of those, either you will just understand all of those nodes are launched from the same biometrics, or you will simply set up a rule that one person can only have one proof of stake or proof of work validator node, and just shouldn't hide from everybody that he's keeping tens or 20 of those in order, to keep the validator set that we all see on the explorers clean and legit, where you see that, okay, this is a staking company, it has this many nodes, and all of those belong to it. And you don't need to go through all those private, creepy names, finding out what belongs to whom, to really understand how centralized the network is and how bad everything is right now.
But I mean, at the same time, those companies might still remain pseudonymous, right? So you're like verifying that this is like it's the same person, but you won't be really able to tell whether it's like the same company or not.
Yeah, sure. Well, the problem with companies is that if you have many people there who you trust, right, they can spawn a lot of nodes if there are a lot of people who you can trust your private keys with. And yeah, basically, we don't reveal the identity for sure. The person himself might want to reveal it, but I haven't met those people yet.
So what we're trying to imply here with Victor is that the place of Humanoid, like yes, there are a lot of different applications and use cases that can be delivered, but I guess the main sport that Humanoid takes in the crypto is basically delivering that Sybil defense that can be, um, applied anywhere on any network that is EVM compatible, and it just can be delivered to any hybrid purpose a developer can think of. And taking that literally empty spot is the way forward. It is like the goal of providing defense from any kind of botnets out there uh, is the way to go through. And I mean, when we're talking about Humanoid, it's its principles were achievable before Humanoid was created by other means, but um, maintaining mm, maintaining one account, one person, or one node, and at the same time having them private and decentralized together, well, that was something that was not achieved before. And integrating those principles to the same service to any kind of network out there is a big leap forward for the whole industry. So it's been 21 minutes from the very start, and I guess if you guys have any questions, I will be happy to answer them. So just fire away. All right, you're being modest as always. So Victor, what do you think about the evolution of centralized biometrics? Like in terms of um, we have a decentralized type of line detection and decentralized type of search and matching operations run by a proper validator set that conducts all the necessary information. how do you think the way we the way we conduct biometric operations can be like evolved from where they stand at this very moment? Do you think any way they could be made better?
Well, well, of course, it will be evolving a lot. I mean, unfortunately, we were one of the first, uh, or probably the first company who decided to try to make completely cryptographically secure biometrics. That's what we already discussed about when we're hosting a crypto biometric fireside. Well, going further, I mean, we're already making it quantum resistant. Uh, and what else can we do? I mean, the time will come. Of course, multimodal biometric approach is something that we thought from the beginning, and real-time biometrics as well.
So what I'm leading, Victor, is you're like you're saying that we're going to evolve, and what I'm trying to deliver here is the vision that we will have like a fully dedicated ecosystem to the evolution of decentralized biometric solutions, and that's a place that we are keen on taking in the humanoid like crypto industry. You see, so everyone is like concentrated around deliverables that are connected to different parts of crypto, and will build the ecosystem and the teams to deliver the evolution of decentralized biometric parts of it, so that like uh, taking that spot of non-stopping technological like evolution in biometrics in the crypto. Yeah, that's what I basically led to. And it kind of being a bit a separate thing from delivering civil defense, because those technologies can be applied in different ways. As we were like building the civil defense, and so that it was made proper, there were different cryptographical schemes that we had to come up with, various our search and matching mechanisms and liveness detection mechanism of our own. So pushing it a bit forward for the whole industry here.
Oh, now I got what you were going to do, and I wonder, like, what do you think is the industry in crypto, or I mean, the type of the crypto projects that need the biometric technology most? Can you pick up one?
Uh, it's really hard to choose between two, actually. Um, so it's like decentralized finance, obviously, like million and millions of use cases that were just waiting for some service that provides one account, one human being, and it just leads to like a myriad of various options that can be available for different services out there. And like the second industry is like NFTs and digital assets, or it just comes from the use case of biometric ownership of something, when a human being owns a digital asset, not bound to his legal document but to his biology.
Okay, it just happens that in my head it's another industry, and those are decentralized autonomous organizations. I mean, if they do integrate but still go with their token based model, they at least can track the attacks of whales on their decentralized organization and their decision making.
No,
And
that was like our like obviously need like a push in terms of not creating bots to vote on some proposals, or whales buying out more stake, or like buying out mining equipment to have more power and stuff like this, for sure. But I mean, because there's like this barrier for DAOs to flourish, that we will have to build a bridge for. We're just, I was talking about like the industries that have already grown like a very big, and they lack this, civil resistance in their own way.
Hmm. I wonder, like, to provide more clarity in how our interaction with the rest of the crypto will look like. How about talking about our, basic and default integration modules that we're going to build? Of course, on the security side, one of the main things would be us becoming secured by the Polkadot relay chain, or at least us having our ledger anchored to Ethereum. That would mean that right from the beginning, we could become the network secured both by billions dollars of capital and thousands of people. But what I wanted to discuss to provide clarity to our community is like, okay, you're providing cyber defense to applications. Let's take this one. So it's like any user of the application will be able to prove that he's the same real being and he's unique human being. How will that look like from the perspective of what what we will be doing on our side to make this true for many decentralized applications and protocols?
Well, there's a good um, example. It's like anchoring, for example, for MetaMask through using QR codes to Humanoid. Basically, we can fork MetaMask and just apply account verification through liveness detection and biometric mechanism that is running on the network. So basically, you are not able to kind of create a special MetaMask account without running a bioauthentication scheme on Humanoid that verifies that you're a real unique human being. Yeah, and this example demonstrates really how it's all done.
Yeah, so it will be pretty easy for native crypto users as they can just, like open their MetaMask, a little bit redesigned version of it with the special QR code inside that scan with their mobile phone. In under 30 seconds, they go to through liveness detection, and eventually the Humanode network, after doing all the checks and processing biometric data, will send back the information to the user that, hey, you're okay to go. And yeah, after that, that wallet or that account will be marked as it's having the control of a real person under it who is unique and, not a bot. No, actually, I just realized that this is something that could save the crypto market from scams. You might have heard that some companies, if they know that they are not able to collect all the funds during their public sale, for example, what they do is that they set up a wallet, make a lot of wallets and a lot of addresses out of one, and then control all of them, sending money to their own public sale. And it all looks like, oh my god, they were oversubscribed and bought out, but it is not true. And yeah, those guys wouldn't be able to do that if it would be a standard to have a public sale with very like biometrically verified accounts.
So, what I was thinking is, you were talking about like anchoring the data in in Ethereum, for example, Polka, right? To kind of safeguard the network in an additional way. But I was thinking, basically proof of work, proof of stake, and like biometric based proof of human existence are all hypotheses. Hypothetically, they can like deliver a proper civil defense. And I mean, if the networks anchored all the data to one another, they would be like safeguarded from any kind of attack that because they would just fork themselves if they were really attacked by somebody. But the thing about other networks is that um, you know people can have their money equipment blacklisted if they're attacked, and they'll just lose billions of dollars, or they have their stakes slashed if they're attacked and lose billions of dollars. But with Humanode, even if the Humanode is just taking over, no one is really getting anything. Do you feel what I'm saying? You're not even going to lose your biometric identity because it's like cryptographically secure.
Hmm. Okay, so it's kind of the security of those non-malicious actors in the system who don't want to lose money because of the malicious actors. Is that where you're leading that?
Even if like in the case if the network is penetrated, yeah. So the malicious actor can potentially like just take over the proof of work network and just blacklist all the mining equipment that was connected to it. People won't be able to kind of reconnect and stuff like this. At the same time, they can just uh, they can just take over a proof of stake network, slash all the stakes. There you go. People are losing like millions of dollars. They take over Humanoid. They can't harm you because you know the network is not safeguarded through capital, but through like verification of collective existence and uniqueness of individuals. That's what I'm saying.
Okay. Well, I've got another question. It's not for you, Dato. Johnny, how are you doing? We're so happy to see you now.
I'm great, thank you. Always happy to join you guys.
Hey Johnny, what do you think about the place of humanoid in crypto?
Well, like you guys said, there are a lot of use cases. I agree actually with Victor that DAOs could really help this technology. You said, Dato, that you were talking about only industries that have already made it big, but maybe the reason that DAOs did not make it big yet is because of the problem that Humanode can solve. Anyone having one vote without whales, without big guys who control everything, founders controlling everything. So this could make an impact, I think, on this industry.
So, like, I have a question to everyone here. What other industries do you think, well, besides decentralized finance and digital asset ownership and DAOs, can be really influenced by humanoid technology here? Well, that's a pickle, right?
Medical. It would help medical.
Oh, Ken, hey, what's up?
That's actually one of the favorites from Dato. I don't really like real world use cases because I've seen company trying for 5 years and failing for 5 years without any adoption. And then after that, they turned to crypto and got partners from day one. But yeah, Kenneth, you're absolutely right. It's one of those medical industry.
Can you?
Insurance.
Well, we're talking about like medical industries here, but like I was more talking about like sub industries of crypto. You know, like we're talking about like NFTs and DAOs and distrust finance. Like, are there any other like connected to crypto, not to the real world? You see. Well, what I can think of is having your code belong to you. I don't know whether you heard about a platform called Radical. There's like decentralized GitHub basically, and I mean, if you can verify it, like you're pushing the code, and that's you, not somebody else. And if it gets stolen by somebody, and you can always prove that you were the one who wrote it, yeah, that would be a thing.
Isn't
Yeah,
that the
you're
private case of NFT?
well. Yeah, I mean, we can tell that pretty much everything in the world which is non-fungible can become an NFT, and in this case, intellectual property can be represented as an NFT. You're right. Uh, Actually, that's a pretty good idea, Dato. And also, I was thinking, imagine you have a project with your friends who are also coders, and you want to do your coding in decentralized fashion, like not making somebody the lead and the only one who pushes, who merges code, for example, and pushes out the final version. But you want the agreement from every human being who's engineering your company to say, okay, it's going out. And yeah, for this reason, would be cool to tie your like developer account on uh, Git like platform to biometrics.
Eh, and not only that, if we delve a little bit further into that, it's not only about like the ownership of some digital asset, but rather ownership of companies, for example. Like imagine you and the buds are like they've decided to create companies and to like uh you know distribute shares among yourselves, and you can like bind the shares of the companies that you create basically to your biology. And right now they're bound to like a public key. Key does not is not bound to you. Basically, you gotta prove that it's yours, and then you need a legal authorizer like a court or some administration in your country to prove that this public address belongs to you, not somebody else. But here you can just create a company, divide shares among you and your like partners, and there you go. It's always bound to you, whatever things that are created from that company, regardless of what it is. Like it can be crypto, it can be other IT stuff, it can be real world stuff. Those shares will be bound to you by biology. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, sure. I mean, that's what DAOs are created for as well.
Yep. So like disrupting pretty much anything, any service that requires like decentralized private and identities that are not bound to legal documents here. Yeah. So, guys, it's been like 42 minutes, and I'm wondering if you have any ideas or questions that you wanted to ask.
Yeah, especially go and ask them if you still don't have clarity on how eventually, throughout the years, human tech will be integrated throughout the crypto stack.
Yeah, I guess everyone here is a veteran humanoid researcher. they know everything better than we do, Victor, I think. Um, so okay. Also, there's another surprising thing on this fireside today, and basically, it's just a VIP thing for those who applied the fireside today, and those who will listen to the podcast. Basically, we are beginning to gather people for tests. Yeah, and we haven't publicly announced them in chats or anywhere, and we won't until like I guess beginning of September or in the second week of September. But for those who listened to this and attended the chat today, I'm saying that you can already apply because it's going to be a limited offer. Not everyone's going to get there. And we'll be finally becoming humanoids ourselves, testing out how everything runs, and
Oh, come on,
basically,
don't be shy. We're already humanoids.
okay, Victor and I are already humanoids, and some people in this chat as well. They're just being shy, but everyone else is welcome to write me or Victor, and we'll get into the lists before everyone else.
Count me in.
Oh, yes, I replied.
Definitely will. So, guys, I mean, if we don't have any other ideas or questions, then I'll call it a day for now. Because I mean, the place of humanoid in crypto is pretty much understandable. And yeah, do you have anything to add, Victor?
Well, just I want to wrap up for those who haven't been here since the beginning. Uh, First, Humanode as infrastructure is the new mechanism for defending our global ledger with human nodes and merging it together with the security of Polka, as we might become a parachain one day, or merging it like with the security of Ethereum by anchoring data there. We can finally protect all the crypto space from the capital-based attack of evil financiers. And the other part of it is, of course, providing biometric technology through the whole industry. And the architecture for this looks pretty well evident and easy. If you take Ethereum, we will deploy a biometric Ethereum smart contract, which will be able to talk to the Humanoid network and its biometric functionalities through the bridge and return the proofs that you're this unique human being without revealing who you are and proving that you're a living person if you are going to have any perks in the protocols that adopt Humanoid.
Yeah, I plus one everything that the guy said. Yeah, thank you very much, guys, and yeah, it was amazing to discuss these things today with you. Thank you for listening to our brainstorming sessions, and we always await you here every 2 weeks for some more high quality brainstorming. Yeah, there we go. I mean,
Yep.
yeah, if you guys have any ideas while we're discussing stuff here, you can just freely say them out loud, and maybe they'll become a part of a project. Maybe not. I don't know. Thank you very much, and have a nice rest of the day, or good night, or good morning, wherever you are. Peace out.
Hey, thank you very much.